Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Madden Gaming, and I'm back with another Maximum Football reaction. Guys, I've seen a lot of updates on Maximum Football, and this one we just got some bad news for Maximum Football. I think it's them pushing it back. I've seen a lot of good things on their Twitter page or X, but I'm pretty sure it's probably just gonna be pushed back. The game that a lot of football fans and a lot of football people that just like video games was really excited for is this game. I still got it on my Steam account on the wish list. It's a free to play game. If you guys do not know, it's not new. It's not new, but it's under new management. I think he's probably gonna tell y'all this. We shall see. Before I hop into his reaction, I need you guys to like this video right now. Subscribe to your boy if you want more reactions just like this one. Without further ado, jump right into it.
Maximum Football has officially been delayed. Now, if you've been around my channel for the past year, you've seen—
Damn it, I said it.
A lot of people were getting excited about it because we all want more options in the football gaming space, and this was the latest simulation game that was set to make its debut. And although it wasn't going to be licensed by the NFL or have the budget of a game like Madden, it did have some stuff going for it, like really—
It has some really cool stuff. The customization.
also looked like the game—
I even made videos on this, guys.
was more on the indie side versus AAA like a Madden game. Now, this game was already delayed once, but the writing was kind of on the wall that it was going to be delayed again, and I was even telling that to some people in my comment section that were still getting pretty excited for the release of this game, and some people thought that I was just making that up, but it was kind of inevitable after we saw what happened a little less than a month ago. Now, what happened less than a month ago? Well, they fired some people, including—
Wait, what?
Manager Mike McFadden, a guy that used to work for EA's Madden. They brought him over—
Damn.
the game to talk—
I did not see that. I did not know this.
also give a lot of feedback to the team. After working on a much bigger football game, they wanted his insight, and they also knew that he understood how to work with the community because he did that when he worked for Madden, and he was doing a really good job at this. He was always keeping the community updated. He was dropping new screenshots weekly. He was even dropping new gameplay footage here and there when he was allowed to. We didn't really get to see much of that. It was very small clips, but he was always kind of keeping us up to date, answering questions, and also trying to get more feedback from us as the community of what we wanted to see in the game.
Don't go.
Now, less than a month ago, he went to Twitter and he said, "Unfortunate news, I was let go from Maximum Football and Modus Games today." He said that he was once again a free agent and he was very proud of the work he did with Maximum Football and another game that they developed. And he said if anyone was looking for a social media, communications, community, or influencer help, to reach out to him. And a lot of people did not like to hear this. A lot of people—
Damn.
saying, why did you let him go? He was great for the game, great for the community. He was really involved with the community. He was keeping everybody up.
I mean, he updates on updates almost every other day.
Why would you bring this guy in who used to work on Madden to help hype your game, which he was doing an amazing job at, and then you just let him go out of nowhere? So immediately a lot of people said it looks like another pushback could be coming, because if they're already laying people off, that's not a great sign if the game hasn't even released.
Yeah, that's true. And it was free to play.
And they also made a post on Twitter that says, "Maximum Football community, the dedication and excitement you've shown for Maximum Football is incredible, and your passion continues to drive us to create the best football experience possible. So that we can accomplish this, we've made the decision to move the Steam Early Access into 2024 and are first planning a beta that allows community members to get hands-on playtime and share feedback. While the team focuses on getting the beta ready, we'll share development updates a bit less than usual, and we look forward to sharing awesome new insights with you in the future. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see you soon." And they haven't said anything since that. Now, when they first delayed it months ago—
Damn.
still kind of on Twitter answering people's concerns and talking with the community, and some of this was Mike himself when he worked there, but there were also other people that worked for Maximum that were doing this as well. But today when they dropped this, everything's been kind of quiet, so it's a little bit different than last time. But hey, really quickly, if you're still here at this point of the video and you haven't subscribed yet, you might as well go ahead and subscribe, join the family, because you're basically already a part of the family anyway. You're clearly liking the content, and I drop all the latest Madden and football gaming news so that you're up to date. I'm trying to hit 1 million subs one day, and I'd love for you to be a part of the journey. Also, something that's important to note here is they said that the Steam Early Access was being pushed into 2024, and they didn't say when in—
That's crazy. 2024.
anytime in 2024. And as we knew it, originally the Steam Early Access was supposed to kind of be something that was out around 6 to 8 months before it actually went to console. That was kind of the timeline they had laid out before they delayed it the first time. And then even when they pushed it back this time, they didn't really give quite a concrete release date, but they said the early access would be coming pretty soon, around now or like a month from now. So if the Steam Early Access is just 2024, but no actual rough estimate of when in 2024, that could possibly mean that the console version wouldn't even be ready until 2025. It doesn't 100% mean that, but
Yeah.
possible. And they also said that they're going to share development updates a bit less than usual, which is also kind of interesting because one thing they have been doing ever since the announcement was hyping
100%. Like
They've been dropping
weekly, like
clips here and there.
every day I go on X or Twitter, wherever you want to call it,
I think that's
it was updates on updates, man.
frustrated sometimes with games like this where they're the indie games or they're like new startup games is a lot of times they talk too much about the game and they hype it up.
That's true.
Only to continue pushing it back.
That's why big games don't do that.
A number of times we've seen games just completely go MIA and never release. We've seen that happen more than once. I don't think that's necessarily gonna be the case with Max.
I hope not, but you never know.
I don't think their intention is to just create hype and never drop a game, but I think the problem and why people get a little frustrated is because a lot of times the smaller games or the new games that are coming into the space and maybe trying to disrupt things a little bit, which Maximum Football is trying to do by being free to play and also offering, you know, some things that even Madden doesn't offer, like a really deep customization suite. What happens with these games is they hype stuff up for months and months and months, and then they keep delaying it, and then people just get tired of it and say, I don't even care anymore. Now, also, there's people that are fine with the pushback and they say, as long as the game comes out good, I don't care. But I think what's different between what EA's doing with NCAA or whatever 2K's doing with their arcade NFL game is we haven't really heard much about either of those games because they're working on them. Now, in terms of 2K, really, it's almost been a little too quiet to where we don't even know if that's still coming out. I would assume it still is, but we haven't heard anything. Whereas with NCAA, EA's at least come out a couple times and spoke on like where the progress was, but they haven't really shown screenshots or trailers or images, and everything's been kind of kept close to the vest while they work on it. So while people know that these games are coming, they're not constantly being teased and hyped up, because when NCAA officially said that they were going to release in 2024, you know, people were a little disappointed because they were expecting 2023, even though it wasn't an official release date. They were still expecting 2023. So when it was pushed back, people were a little frustrated, but it's a little easier to understand it when you haven't constantly been teasing the game as if it was very close to being ready. You know, they never really did that. They only kind of talked about progress every once in a while, you know, just to let people know that they were still working on it, but they never really had you believing.
That's 100% correct.
So your hopes weren't up too high. Now, really quickly, I do want to mention that we are still sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. They're
Shout out to Underdog.
also have a very fun pick'em game where you can put some player props. Interested in it, check it out. But I think the reality of all of this is it's very difficult to make a football game, even in
100%.
a lot of time, and it takes a lot
Even for
of
big studios like EA,
money to make
it's
Madden
tough.
football as it does to make Madden, but it still costs a lot of money. That's why you see people getting laid off and delays happening, because it's just not easy to put these games out. And I think a lot of people take that for granted because we've just had football games forever. They don't realize how hard they are to make. But I think the big problem here for Maximum, other than the fact that maybe they were hyping things up a little too early, is I'm afraid they're kind of gonna miss their window a bit. Now, don't get me wrong, Maximum Football is not gonna be a competitor to Madden or NCAA football. I know some people
Not even close.
It's just naive to think that, because it's an
I think the people that think that are the ones that always say Madden is the same every year, make a video on it.
NFL or the
Y'all know who they are.
people that buy
No shade.
are casual gamers and even casual sports fans. They want to just play with the teams and players they know. Even if a game is free to play, while they might try it out, most people aren't going to pick the unlicensed game over the game that has Patrick Mahomes in it and the Dallas Cowboys in it. That's just how it goes. Maximum Football
I mean,
is meant to be an alternative.
You ain't have to say Dallas Cowboys.
Passionate football gaming fans that want some deeper customization.
Who cares about them?
That even games like Madden, for whatever reason, isn't giving us right now. But also, when you look at the gameplay and things like that, there's a reason they haven't shown much gameplay. They've shown a trailer with up close shots, similar to even what Madden does when they release their trailers. A lot of these games don't just show.
And they look, these screenshots look awesome, man. It's just too much hype.
There's gonna be problems with any of these sports games. Gameplay in a football game is something that is very hard to code, and on any given play, you're going to see bugs or see things that don't look always the most accurate. There's a reason a lot of these games do not show gameplay very early, and the same has happened with Maximum. They've put out some clips, but if you're going to expect the gameplay to be on the level of Madden, I just don't think you understand what type of game it is and what type of budget they have to work with. That doesn't mean that the game still can't be good, but it's not going to be on the level of a Madden, and the really only thing they had kind of going for it in terms of really making a splash is being free to play, being on a engine, which is really cool, but also beating NCAA to the market, because Maximum Football is more of a college style game than
100%. It's way more of a college than pros.
A year early before NCAA, that would have given them a little bit more attention, in my opinion. But now the game is not going to be out before NCAA next summer. At best, it'll be out on Steam in the beta, but the finished version won't be out till much later. Once NCAA drops, that's the game.
It's game over. It's game over.
Working the most on, even more than they have on Madden for the last decade. That's why they pushed it back. If they were just going to reskin Madden, that game could have been out 2 years ago and they could have been raking in money, but they keep pushing it back because
Facts.
the game kind of has to be different than Madden, and not only that, it needs to deliver on things that Madden currently isn't delivering on. And with Maximum Football, that was something they were aiming to do, but now if they're not going to beat the NCAA game to the market, I do think that in a big way, they're going to miss their window to make a big splash. That doesn't mean that the game can't be successful and that people can't try it out, but I just think you're going to have less interest in it now that it's been pushed back past NCAA. And who's to even say that it stays free to play at this point? If they're laying people off and
damn, I ain't think about that. That is true.
There's a good chance that the game might not wind up being completely free to play either, which I think would really turn people off.
That is a good possibility.
Free to play, and then it's not. People are going to get pretty frustrated about that, and then you're going to have even less interest in the game. So hopefully they still at least find a way to keep it free to play, or else I think they're going to lose the far majority of their interest. I know a lot of people were excited for this. I myself were. That's why I've been talking about it all year long.
Me too.
But as of right now, there's no official release date. I think there is a chance it doesn't come out at all, but I do take modest games seriously enough that I think they'll find a way to get it out. But no hard release date for even the beta early access. Definitely no time frame for the console version, which is what most people are going to be interested in. And with NCAA coming out in less than a year, I think that could maybe in some ways be the nail in the coffin for this game. But if they still find a way to get it out free to play and it does deliver on the things that they were hyping up, I do think it'll still have its corner of the football gaming market, and people, even like myself, will partake in the game and, see what it's all about. But I do think NCAA coming out is gonna take a lot of hype away from this game that would have been there if they could have found
pretty much all the hype, in my opinion.
Now, if this is your first time hearing about Maximum Football and you want to...
Guys, I called it, didn't I? I called it in my intro about Maximum Football was going to be pushed back. But the one thing I did not see or hear about was them firing the guy that made sure the updates was constant. Like, I was making videos from his updates, and it's gonna be interesting to see when it does come out. Hopefully it does come out. I got hope that it will come up at the same time. But the biggest thing that smaller studios that work on games like this is the hype. All right, you build all this hype and then you can't. It's very hard to deliver on the hype. You know what I mean? But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Hopefully you guys did learn about Maximum Football if you have not already learned about it. And check out my videos on my channel for more Maximum Football news. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.